In this day and age, superhero movies and media are becoming more and more popular by the minute. With the explosive rise of the MCU ever since the first Iron Man movie, and even the somewhat controversial DCEU movies, a lot of people that had no prior knowledge of superpowers are now coming into contact with them. Because of this, countless discussions online have happened over a multitude of different powers. And the most important question remains, which is a better superpower? Today, we will be talking about two superpowers which everyone should be pretty familiar with: laser vision and invisibility. And we'll be trying to gauge their pros and cons to see which superpower is better. Let's start with laser vision. We're sure most of you are familiar with Superman's heat vision ability, but its name isn't really that fitting, because he's not simply emitting heat out of his eyes, he's doing it in a straight line that glows quite brightly and heats up only the material that it touches. Such an effect is accomplished by something like light amplification, by simulated emission of radiation, for which we use the acronym LASER. So, you see, when we say laser vision, we're actually talking about the same effect as the aforementioned heat vision of everyone's favorite hero, Superman. Now, what does having a power like laser vision entail? If we compare it with something we're familiar with, the most powerful laser to date burns at a whopping 3.6 million degrees Fahrenheit, or roughly 2 million degrees Celsius, and was created to turn solid matter into plasma. For those of you that don't know, plasma is one of the four fundamental states of matter, like solid, liquid, and gas. And it is essentially a superheated gas. It's usually found in the core of stars like our sun. Yes, you heard that right, the cores of stars. Very dangerous indeed. Well, being able to essentially turn anything within your field of vision into plasma in less than a second sounds very powerful. But unless you're planning to use your powers for welding, precision cutting of highly durable materials, or starting a fire to roast some marshmallows, there aren't many uses for it. However, if you're someone with a flexible moral compass, you might also consider using it to commit crimes. You're basically a sniper with bullets that travel at light speed and can penetrate any defense imaginable. Short of getting ambushed or attacked before you can react, the only other thing that would be able to stop you are other people with superpowers. Your biggest weakness would be someone who can approach you undetected, such as someone who's just too fast to react to, like the Flash for instance. Also, any normal human could easily take you out with a gun of any kind unless you luckily manage to melt the bullets mid-flight. There is another aspect of this power that has a major impact on its viability: how it is activated. Everyone remembers Scott Summers, better known as Cyclops, an iconic member of the X-Men. He's someone that has the power of laser vision, although usually not as powerful as the previously mentioned laser that was created to make plasma. He is a person whose powers cannot be deactivated. His laser vision is constantly firing, which is why he needs those special glasses to stop himself from killing everyone he looks at. If your laser vision is as such, then without special equipment, you're basically blind, which isn't very fun at all. However, if you're leaning more on the Henry Cavill side of things and can activate it just by concentrating a little, then you don't really have to worry about it too much. Now, onto our second power of the day: invisibility. It's a versatile power with a multitude of uses. Being able to not be seen is useful to everyone, from a soldier trying to sneak behind enemy lines to an introvert trying to avoid any kinds of contact with people whatsoever. Again, assuming our subject is someone with less than moral ideas, this power could be easily used for assassinations, infiltration, robbery, spying on people in the shower, etc. Being able to go anywhere without being seen sounds very cool. But what exactly does it mean to be invisible? There have been plenty of different interpretations of the power in many different universes. If you can create a field around yourself that alters the direction of light and turn not just yourself but anything currently in your possession invisible, like Susan Storm from the Fantastic Four, you're in luck, as you have the best form of invisibility, and essentially don't have a weakness when it comes to normal people. One thing you have to watch out for is anyone with some kind of extrasensory ability that could detect you even if you're invisible to the naked eye. How about someone like Translucent from the recent hit series The Boys? He can also go invisible. However, he can only turn his own body invisible, meaning that he has to be completely naked to not be seen. This is already severely limiting. You cannot bring any kind of object with you if you want to remain undetected, unless you want to carry something in your mouth or other places. Not to mention that you're limited to locations where being completely naked wouldn't hurt you or make you freeze to death. So sadly, no invisible road trips to Antarctica. Okay, now that we have both powers clearly defined, let's look at a few types of people and how they might benefit from these powers. Let's say you're a superhero. Which of these powers should you pick? Well, having laser vision would enable you to quickly dispatch of anyone trying to harm you or innocent people near you. But it would also mean you will most likely kill anyone who becomes your opponent, which isn't very superhero-like. You could also easily get into any enemy bases with the ability melting anything down to plasma, and even escape many situations which you find yourself in. With invisibility, being a hero is a bit stranger. Your main advantage would be getting information on any person or organization that would want to commit to illegal activities and also taking out potential threats without getting noticed. However, in a dangerous situation which you have no prior knowledge of, you would most likely only be able to save yourself, but not others, unless we're talking a small-scale scuffle with some goons. In this comparison, we think laser vision wins the battle. Now, let's look at the opposite situation, being a supervillain. Laser vision would enable you to break into any location on the ground quite easily, would enable you to dispatch most foes within seconds, and quite possibly most importantly, would garner a lot of fear and respect from individuals you might want to recruit. After all, if your boss can melt you with a look, you'd be motivated to work to the best of your abilities. Invisibility, however, would be less flashy and would require a different approach. You'd be able to infiltrate most locations undetected. Killing anybody that gets in your way would also be an easy task. The most important thing, however, is the discretion. If you're invisible when you commit all your crimes, not only will people not be able to tie you to them, they most likely won't notice a pattern at all and would consider them separate crimes altogether. The greatest safety you could have is the fact that no one will know you exist. When it comes to this part of the comparison, we're on the side of invisibility. Finally, what if you're just a normal person trying to live a normal life? With laser vision, you'd be able to do some jobs like welding, precision cutting, or similar prospects. But that's about it when it comes to the everyday benefits. Similarly, with invisibility, the benefits mostly end with the ability to avoid people you don't want to talk to, unless you're trying to peep in the other locker room at the gym, which you really shouldn't. In this case, laser vision wins again. In conclusion, laser vision is the better power to have, in our opinion. What do you think? Do you agree with what we said in this video? Would you rather have the power of laser vision or invisibility? Would you like to see more videos like this? Leave your comments in the description down below. And check out some of our other videos for more content you might like.